Picture this. You're eating breakfast while scrolling through your phone, thinking about that meeting later, and suddenly you realize you don't even remember what your food tasted like. Or maybe you're walking home from work, completely lost in replaying that awkward conversation from earlier, and you suddenly arrive at your door with no memory of the journey. You missed the golden hour light, the crisp air, that friendly dog walker who smiled at you. Sound familiar? We're all guilty of it. We live our lives on autopilot, our bodies in one place while our minds are somewhere else entirely. We're everywhere except here, in this moment where life is actually happening. Now, when I say being present, you might picture someone sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop, eyes closed, completely zen. But here's the thing, presence isn't about escaping to some peaceful retreat. It's about being fully alive in this very moment, whether you're washing dishes, stuck in traffic, or having a conversation with a friend. By the end of this video, you'll learn simple, practical ways to bring more presence into your everyday life. No meditation cushion required, no hour-long sessions needed. Just real, doable practices that fit into the life you're already living. So what exactly is presence? At its core, presence is simply being aware of what's happening right now, without getting lost in the constant stream of thoughts running through your mind. It's experiencing life directly rather than through the filter of mental commentary. Think of it this way. Your mind is like a TV that's always on, constantly switching channels between memories, worries, plans, and random thoughts. Presence is when you realize you don't have to watch every show. You can be aware of the TV without being glued to it. There's an important distinction here between mindfulness as a technique, like formal meditation or breathing exercises, and presence as a way of being. Mindfulness practices are tools, but presence is the natural state they point us toward. It's not something you have to create or achieve. It's already here, waiting beneath all the mental noise. Eckhart Tolle describes this beautifully in The Power of Now. He points out that presence is what we naturally experienced as children. Remember being completely absorbed in playing with no sense of time passing. We haven't lost that ability, we've just forgotten how to access it. The good news is, it's always just one conscious breath away. So if presence is natural to us, why do we spend so little time there? The answer lies in how our modern minds have been trained to operate. First, there's the overthinking epidemic. Our brains are constantly churning, analyzing, planning, worrying, comparing. We've become addicted to mental activity. Even when nothing needs figuring out, our minds keep spinning like a hamster wheel that won't stop. I once tracked my thoughts for an hour and realized I'd mentally reorganized my closet, rehearsed 3 conversations, and worried about 5 different scenarios, all while supposedly relaxing on my couch. Then there's the distraction economy. Everything in our environment is designed to pull our attention away. Notifications, advertisements, endless content streams, they all profit from keeping us scattered and reactive. Our attention has become a commodity, and we're giving it away for free. But perhaps the biggest culprit is our mind's tendency to time travel. Studies show that we spend 47% of our waking hours thinking about something other than what we're currently doing. Nearly half our lives spent somewhere else. Here's a perfect example. Last week, a friend told me she was walking her dog on a gorgeous evening. Pink sunset, perfect temperature, her favorite path through the park. But she didn't experience any of it because she was mentally arguing with her boss about a decision made 3 days earlier. By the time she got home, she'd won 10 imaginary arguments, felt frustrated all over again, and completely missed the actual walk. Her dog had a better time than she did, and he doesn't even see in full color. The present moment just keeps slipping by, unnoticed and unappreciated, life becomes something we think about rather than something we actually experience. So how do we interrupt this pattern? How do we come back to where we actually are? I'm going to share 6 simple practices that can bring you back to presence. Remember, you don't need to master all of these. Even one can shift your entire experience of life. Practice 1. Anchor in the body. Your body is always in the present moment. It literally can't be anywhere else. So whenever you want to return to presence, your body is your anchor. Try this right now. Feel your hands. Don't look at them, just feel them from the inside. Notice any tingling, warmth or aliveness. Now feel your feet on the ground. Feel the weight of your body in your chair. Take one conscious breath, feeling the air move in and out. That's it. You've just become present. A viewer recently messaged me saying she used this during a panic-inducing presentation. While her mind was racing with worst-case scenarios, she kept part of her attention on her feet. She said it was like having a secret anchor in a storm. No one knew she was doing it, but it kept her grounded and clear. You can do this anytime, anywhere. While waiting in line at the grocery store, feel your feet on the ground. While typing emails, occasionally notice the sensation of your fingers on the keyboard. While cooking dinner, feel the weight of the knife, the texture of the vegetables, the heat from the stove. Each sensation is a doorway back to now. The beauty is its invisibility. You could be in the most stressful meeting, and you can still find your center by simply feeling your breath or the weight of your body in the chair. It's like having a secret sanctuary that's always accessible. Practice 2. Single tasking. We've been sold the myth of multitasking, but neuroscience shows it actually makes us less efficient and more stressed. Our brains don't really multitask. They rapidly switch between tasks, exhausting our mental resources. Single tasking is the antidote. When you eat, just eat. I had a client who ate lunch at her desk every day for 5 years. One day she tried eating without any distractions, no phone, no computer. She texted me afterward. I never knew my salad had pine nuts and cranberries in it. 5 years of the same salad, and I'm just now tasting it. When you walk, just walk. Feel each step, notice your surroundings, breathe naturally. When someone's talking to you, really listen. Don't mentally prepare your response while they're speaking. Just receive their words fully. You'll be amazed at what you start hearing between the words. This might feel uncomfortable at first. We're so used to doing multiple things that single tasking can feel almost lazy. But you'll quickly discover it's actually more efficient. Tasks get completed faster when they have your full attention, and they're definitely more enjoyable. Start with just one activity today, maybe your morning coffee, and do nothing else while you drink it. Practice 3. Mindful pauses. Throughout your day, create tiny gaps of presence. These are brief moments, just 10 to 30 seconds, where you stop and simply exist. I started doing this before entering my home after work. Just 3 breaths at the door, hand on the doorknob, transitioning from work me to home me. My daughter actually asked if I'd gotten a promotion because I seemed so much happier. Nothing had changed except those 3 breaths. Before you open your laptop, pause. Before you pick up your phone, pause and ask, do I really need to check this right now? Before you eat, pause and appreciate the food in front of you. These pauses are like pressing a reset button throughout your day. One executive I know sets a gentle chime on his phone every 2 hours. When it rings, he takes 3 conscious breaths wherever he is. He calls them his presence pills, small doses of awareness that keep him centered all day. You could start with just 3 pauses today, morning, afternoon and evening. Practice 4. Listening. Fully, most of us don't really listen. We perform listening while our minds are elsewhere. We're formulating responses, judging what's being said, or getting distracted by our own thoughts. Full listening means giving someone your complete presence. Look at them, really see them. Notice their expressions, their energy, the emotion beneath their words. Don't rehearse your reply. Trust that the right words will come when it's your turn. A friend tried this with her teenage son, who usually gave one-word answers to her questions. She stopped doing dishes while talking to him, sat down, and gave him her full attention. For the first time in months, he actually opened up about what was really going on at school. She said, "I realized I'd been having conversations with him for years, but never really listening." This transforms relationships. People can feel the difference between partial attention and full presence. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give someone. And surprisingly, conversations become less draining when you're fully present. It's the mental multitasking that exhausts us. Practice 5. Everyday rituals. Turn your daily routines into presence practices. Choose activities you already do and infuse them with awareness. Your morning shower can become a sensory meditation. Feel the water temperature change on your skin, smell the soap, hear the sound of water hitting the tiles. One person told me their shower went from being where they anxiously planned their day to becoming their favorite 5 minutes, a warm, peaceful reset. Making tea or coffee can become a ritual of presence. Watch the water boil, see the steam rise, inhale the aroma, feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. A busy mom of 3 told me her morning coffee ritual is the only 5 minutes of her day that are completely hers, and she guards them fiercely. Even brushing your teeth can become a moment of presence. Instead of mentally running through your to-do list, actually taste the toothpaste, feel the bristles, notice the sensation of clean teeth afterward. Start with just one daily routine and commit to doing it with full awareness. Practice 6. Notice the gaps. This is subtle but powerful. Start noticing the natural gaps in your experience, the space between thoughts, the pause between breaths, the silence between words. These gaps are always there, but we usually rush past them. When you start noticing them, you discover that presence lives in these spaces. They're like windows that open onto a deeper stillness that's always available beneath the surface noise of life. Even in the busiest moments, these gaps are there, offering tiny moments of peace. Now, before you try these practices, let's clear up a few myths that often discourage people from even starting. First, presence is not about controlling your thoughts or achieving a blank mind. That's impossible and not even desirable. Thoughts will come and go, that's their nature. I once tried to stop thinking during my commute. I just gave myself a headache. Presence is about changing your relationship with thoughts. Instead of being hijacked by every thought, you observe them like clouds passing in the sky. You can notice, oh, there's a worry thought without following it down the rabbit hole. Second, presence is not about being perfect or maintaining Zen-like calm all the time. You'll forget to be present hundreds of times a day. That's completely normal and expected. I've been practicing this for years, and I still catch myself eating entire meals without tasting them. Presence is a practice of returning, not a state of perfection. Every return to the present is a victory, regardless of how long you were gone. Third, presence doesn't make you passive or less effective. Some people worry they'll lose their edge or stop planning for the future. Actually, the opposite happens. When you need to plan, you plan with full presence. Your planning becomes clearer and more creative. A project manager told me that presence actually made her better at her job because she stopped wasting energy on anxiety and could see projects more clearly. Finally, this isn't about adding another task to your already overwhelming life. You don't need special equipment, apps, or dedicated time. Presence happens within whatever you're already doing. It's not about doing more, it's about being more aware while you do. Once you understand what presence really is and isn't, you might wonder what actually changes. Let me paint you a before and after picture. Before presence, my commute was dead time, 40 minutes of frustration and mental rehearsals. With presence, it became my transition ritual. I notice the seasons changing, I arrive at work calm, and I actually enjoy the journey. The commute didn't change. My experience of it transformed completely. Stress and anxiety naturally decrease. Most of our stress comes from resistance to what is, from wanting things to be different right now. Presence dissolves this resistance. A teacher told me she used to dread parent conferences, spending weeks anxiously anticipating them. Now she prepares with presence and shows up fully. The conferences haven't gotten easier, but her anxiety has virtually disappeared. Problems that seemed overwhelming become manageable when you face them one present moment at a time. Your relationships transform in unexpected ways. Before presence, I'd have entire conversations while mentally elsewhere, planning dinner while my partner talked about their day. Now people actually comment on what a good listener I am. Nothing changed except my attention. My relationships have more depth, more laughter, more genuine connection. Conflicts still happen, but they resolve faster because I'm responding to what's actually being said, not what I think is being meant. You'll discover joy in the most ordinary moments. Before presence, I needed constant entertainment. Podcasts while walking, videos while eating, scrolling while waiting. With presence, I discovered that ordinary life is actually quite extraordinary. The morning light through my kitchen window has become a daily artwork. The taste of a simple apple can be a genuine pleasure. I'm not chasing peak experiences anymore because I'm actually experiencing my regular life. Your effectiveness and creativity increase dramatically. Before presence, I'd spend 3 hours on a task that really needed 1 hour because my attention was scattered. Now, when I work, I really work. When I rest, I actually rest. Decisions become clearer because you're responding to what's actually happening, not to mental projections. Perhaps most importantly, you stop feeling like life is passing you by. Before presence, I'd get to Sunday night and wonder where the weekend went. Now weekends feel fuller even though I'm doing less. When you're present, time has a different quality. Moments become richer, fuller, more memorable. You're actually living your life instead of thinking about living it. Here's what I want you to remember. Presence isn't some exotic state reserved for monks and meditation teachers. It's your birthright. It's how you experienced life as a child, and it's still available to you right now, in this very moment. The practices I've shared aren't rules to follow perfectly. They're experiments, invitations to play with awareness in your own life. You don't need to implement all 6 practices. In fact, I strongly encourage you not to. That's just another way of turning presence into a performance, another item on your to-do list. Instead, choose one practice that resonates with you. Maybe it's feeling your feet on the ground a few times today. Maybe it's really tasting your next meal. Maybe it's taking 3 conscious breaths before you start your workday tomorrow. Start there. Start small. Let it be easy. Remember, you can't fail at this. Every moment you notice you've been lost in thought is actually a moment of awakening. Every return to presence is a victory. You don't have to be present all day, just this moment. And when you forget, which you will countless times, the next moment is another opportunity. That's the beauty of presence. It's always available, always welcoming you back, never judging how long you've been gone. A year from now, you might look back and realize that these simple moments of presence were the beginning of a profound shift. Not because you achieved some special state, but because you started actually showing up for your own life. If you found this helpful and want to explore more about bringing ancient wisdom into modern life, check out my video on ancient mindfulness traditions you can use today. I'll link it below. And if you want more practical tips on living with greater awareness and less stress, consider subscribing to the channel. But more than anything, I invite you to close this video and take a moment, just one moment, to be fully here. Feel your body in your chair. Notice your breath naturally flowing. Acknowledge this moment of your life happening right now. Because ultimately, this isn't about watching videos or learning techniques. It's about actually being alive for your own life. Your life is happening right now. Don't miss it. dailyselfwisdom.com